What's up, party people? Welcome to How Do I Part 2, where we talk about in-text citations. So you're writing an essay, you got your thesis, you got your topic sentences, you arrive with a quote. You drop it right in there and you're done, right? Wrong. But before we work with this quote, let's take a look at what you found. Oh, it's just one sentence and not a whole paragraph? Nice work, you're doing some things right. So now we've got this sentence, and we've got to trim it up, make it shorter, so we can throw it down into our knowledge smackdown, aka our body paragraphs. So if I'm looking at the sentence and I know that my focus is on conflict resolution, what are the key phrases that I need to pull out and focus on? I know art of conversation. Okay, and then this whole last thing, proverbs are the palm oil with which words are eaten. Do I need the rest? Not really. I know my focus. Now I need to think about, how do I intro this? And you're going to intro this with critical context, not with summary. So that means that before you even think about plugging in that quote, you need to, one, explain briefly, because we've read the text too, where, maybe, who, definitely, and what for sure is going on in your quote, or right before your quote, or right after your quote. And then two, you need to also hint at your coming analysis. What should the reader be paying attention to, trying to find, starting to think about? Okay, so maybe that looks like this. In the reader's first introduction to Okonkwo's father, Unoka is visited by Okoye, who needs Unoka to repay his debts. Achebe describes how Okoye's adherence to ritual and his use of proverbs soften potential conflicts. So I introduce the where, right? Our first introduction. We're just meeting him and the story is told. I introduce the who, Unoka, and who is he, and Okoye, and who is he, and I introduce the what. Oh, there's this potential conflict about repaying debts. Do I also hint at my upcoming analysis? You bet I do. His adherence to ritual and his use of proverbs soften potential conflicts. I'm setting myself up for success, and I'm setting up my reader to know what the heck I'm talking about. Win-win. So now you've done your context, and now you're going to tuck in your quote like the sweet little baby that it is. This is my quote, just as a reminder. Those are my key phrases that I want to make sure I use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my key phrases and I'm going to insert my blanket, aka my own words, to tuck that sweet little baby in. So what I did here, when conflicts do arise, and then I insert my quote. But even if I didn't have quotation marks around this, would this sentence flow like a normal sentence? You bet it would. When conflicts do arise, the art of conversation is seen as a masterful EBO skill. Did I summarize and paraphrase what the rest of the quote said? Absolutely. Is that a smart thing to do? You bet. Can you do it too? You can. Make sure you are paraphrasing and not plagiarizing. And then I finish up my quote. Notice I've got a tuck at the beginning, I've got a tuck in the middle, and I've got a tuck in the end. The tucks are your own words. You need minimum 2 tucks. You have to have an intro with your own words. That's tuck number 1. You probably want to have a tuck number 2, aka a transition in your own words. That's mine between the peach and the green highlighting. And then you have to have that third tuck at the end, that citation of what page you got your info from. Cool. You've successfully tucked in your sweet little baby, aka embedded your evidence, and now you're ready to move on to meaning. Remember in your analysis that you should be referring back to the specifics of your evidence and maybe even the specifics of your context. Good luck. Happy writing.